Hi, most serious problems start suddenly. They build slowly, day after day, while people feel completely fine. In this video, you will understand and what you can start doing differently from today. The kitchen is the heart of the home. It is where the day begins with that familiar smell of coffee, where food becomes comfort, and where simple moments turn into memories that stay with us for life. But there is a side of the kitchen almost no one talks about, and it is not about calories or recipes. It is about invisible exposure, silent toxic invaders that can hide in plain sight, inside everyday items you touch, heat, breathe in through steam, and serve on plates to the people you love, day after day, without realizing it. For a long time, many of these things were called safe, because nobody was looking closely or because the risks were not fully understood. But today, researchers are paying more attention to microplastics, chemical residues, heavy metals, and what chronic, tiny exposures may do over years. This does not mean you should panic, it means you should be smart. In this video, I will show you common hidden kitchen dangers and simple, affordable swaps you can start making right now to protect yourself and your family step by step, without turning your life upside down. Stay with me until the end, because the last one is something most people have sitting in their kitchen right now, and it may be one of the biggest sources of contamination in the entire room. And before we dive in, like this video and share it with someone who loves cooking, someone who tries to take care of their family through food. This could genuinely help them. My name is Luke Santiago. I am a nutrition student from Brazil, and this is Luke Health Nutrition Tips. Now let's uncover what is hiding in your kitchen and what you can do about it. One of the most common problems starts with something that looks harmless: plastic cutting boards. Every time a knife hits a plastic board, it scrapes the surface. Over time, the board becomes full of tiny grooves, scratches, and invisible dust. And the reality is simple: those tiny particles do not disappear. They can end up in your food. The more scratched the board is, the more it sheds, and the more it can trap bacteria too, because those grooves are difficult to clean completely. The swap here is simple. If you can, switch to a solid wooden board like bamboo, maple, or another hardwood, and keep it dry after washing. Many people prefer bamboo because it is hard and holds up well. Another option is tempered glass, which is very easy to clean, although it can dull knives, so it depends on your style. If you love a plastic board and you still want to use it, at least make one rule: replace it when it becomes scratched and cloudy, and do not use it for hot foods, and do not cut aggressively on a board that looks like it has been through a war. Also use separate boards for raw meat and fresh produce. And if your plastic board is old and deeply scratched, do not donate it. It is not worth passing the problem to someone else. Now let's talk about a tool almost everyone has: black plastic spatulas and black plastic utensils. They are cheap, they are everywhere, and they look harmless. But there have been concerns about some black plastics being made from recycled materials that were not meant for food contact. The bigger issue is not fear, it is heat. When plastic is heated and repeatedly pressed against hot cookware, it can transfer unwanted substances into food, especially when the utensil is old, scratched, or low quality. So here is the simplest solution: remove black plastic utensils from your kitchen. Replace them with wood, stainless steel, or high-quality food-grade silicone from reputable brands. If you use silicone, look for clear labeling and avoid very cheap and unknown products. A safe kitchen is not about buying expensive things, it is about choosing materials that behave better under heat. Next, we need to talk about non-stick pans, especially scratch ones. A non-stick pan that is intact and used gently may be less of an issue, but once the surface becomes scratched, chipped, or peeling, you should treat it like a warning sign. When coatings degrade, tiny particles and residues can transfer to food, and certain chemical families used historically in manufacturing have raised concerns because they can persist in the environment and may build up over time. Here is the practical rule: if your non-stick pan is scratched, peeling or flaking, discard it. Do not keep it because it is convenient. Better options exist. Cast iron is one of the best long-term options. It can last decades, and when seasoned properly, it becomes naturally non-stick. Stainless steel is durable and non-toxic. You just need to learn the heat and oil technique so food does not stick. Ceramic cookware can be a good option too, but you still want quality, and you should replace it if it becomes damaged. And one more thing: avoid overheating non-stick cookware. High heat is where the risk increases and where fumes can become irritating. Low to medium heat is safer, and good ventilation matters. Now let's talk about something I see everywhere: heating food in old plastic containers, especially in the microwave. This is one of the easiest habits to change, and it can make a big difference. Heat accelerates chemical migration. Old plastic becomes brittle and worn, and microwaving can increase the release of micro and nano-sized particles, plus chemical residues, especially when the container is scratched, cloudy, or stained. Even plastics labeled as safe are not always meant for repeated high heat use over many years. The simple rule is this: never microwave food in plastic. Use glass or ceramic. Transfer the food to a glass bowl, heat it, and then eat. If you need cover, use a paper towel, parchment paper, or a microwave-safe glass lid. Plastic for cold storage in the fridge is one thing, but reheating is another. And if you have old containers that are scratched, cloudy, or smell like plastic, throw them away. Now, let's talk about something that looks healthy, but can hide problems: cheap silicone tools and molds. High-quality food-grade silicone can be a great choice, but very cheap silicone products may contain fillers, mixed materials, or low-quality compounds that can smell strongly or degrade under heat. Here is how to be practical. If it has a strong chemical smell, do not use it for food. If it leaves color when rubbed, especially on a white paper towel, be cautious. If it feels overly sticky, flimsy, or starts cracking quickly, replace it. Choose reputable brands and avoid ultra-cheap imports with no labeling. Food-grade materials matter because heat turns your kitchen into a chemistry lab, and you want stable materials that do not break down easily. Now we need to talk about spices, because this one surprises people. Spices are powerful and many are healthy, but contamination can happen depending on farming and processing. In some cases, spices can contain heavy metals from soil, poor processing, or adulteration. The goal is not fear. The goal is smarter buying. Buy spices from reputable brands that provide clear origin information and quality control. Avoid unlabeled bulk spices with no origin. Rotate brands instead of buying the same unknown cheap source forever. And if you want the safest and freshest option, grow simple herbs at home if you can. Basil, oregano, rosemary, thyme. Even a small pot near a window can help. For turmeric and paprika, choose trusted brands and store them properly in a dry area. This is not about never using spices, it is about choosing better sources, because tiny exposures can accumulate over time. Now let's talk about cleaning products, because this is where people accidentally create risks while trying to be clean. If you spray strong cleaners directly on countertops and then prepare food there, residues can remain even after wiping. The risk increases if people mix products, like bleach and ammonia, which can create dangerous fumes. The solution is simple. Use cleaning methods appropriate for food contact surfaces. Warm water and soap is often enough for daily cleaning. For disinfection, use products labeled safe for food contact surfaces and follow instructions, including proper dilution and contact time. You can also use simpler options like diluted vinegar for general cleaning and baking soda for scrubbing, but remember that cleaning and disinfecting are not always the same thing. The key is to rinse thoroughly with clean water after using any cleaner on a surface where food will touch, and avoid spraying strong chemicals and immediately chopping vegetables on that exact spot. Now we arrive at the final one, and in my opinion it is the most underestimated because people think it is helping them. The kitchen sponge. Many sponges look harmless, but they can become a breeding ground for bacteria because they stay warm, damp and full of food residue. That is the perfect environment for microbes to multiply. The issue is not that you own a sponge. The issue is how long you keep it and where you use it. If you use one sponge for everything, you can spread bacteria from one surface to another, especially if it touches raw meat, residue, cutting boards or dirty sink areas. Here is what to do. Replace sponges frequently. If you want a simple rule, replace them every week or even sooner if they smell. Better yet, consider switching to a silicone brush that dries faster and is easier to clean. Use the separate tools for different jobs. Paper towels can be safer for wiping raw meat surfaces, followed by proper disinfection. And never use the same sponge for baby bottles, cutting boards and raw meat surfaces. If you take one step today, make it this one. Go to your kitchen and throw away the old sponge if it has been sitting there for too long. It does not matter if it looks fine. The inside is what matters, and the inside rarely dries completely. This one change alone can reduce exposure to bacteria and improve hygiene in a way most people never think about. Now let's put everything together so you can actually apply this without stress. You do not need to change everything overnight. Start with the easiest swaps. First, stop heating food in plastic. That is quick and cheap, just transfer to glass. Second, replace the old scratched cutting board. Third, remove black plastic utensils and old scratched non-stick pans. Fourth, be smarter with sponges and cleaning habits. Fifth, buy spices from reputable sources and store them properly. These changes are not about paranoia, they are about wisdom. When you understand how exposure works, you stop doing risky things without even thinking. Your kitchen should be a safe place, not a hidden source of daily contamination. And you have the power to improve that, starting today, one small swap at a time. If you found this useful, share it with someone you love who cooks every day. They will thank you later. And tell me in the comments which of these kitchen risks surprised you the most. If this video helped you, subscribe to the channel and share it someone you love. I'm Luke Santiago, a nutrition student from Brazil, and this is Luke Healthy Nutrition Tips. Take care of your body and see you in the next video.